It's no secret that our risk of falling increases as we age. So, who better to demonstrate the key to preventing falls than Mimi, my 92-year-old grandma? So, Mimi, what I want to do today is I want to do a couple things just to challenge your balance before we get started. We were riding up to come here today, and you were telling me a little bit about some of your friends who had suffered a fall and it changed their life for the worse, correct?
Correct. Well, I live in an assisted living, and a lot of my friends are independent and they go out to dinner and things. But then when they fall, and they usually break a leg or an arm, an elbow, one even broke her kneecap.
Oh my gosh.
And she was in a wheelchair for months.
Do they ever really recover from that or?
Never. They never come back all the way. The ones that were walking well without assistance with a walker or cane, now they're using a walker and they're bent over.
What I take from that is that the most important thing we can do is prevent this fall in the first place. And there's one key that you need to be good at to set yourself up for success. I want you to face me, turn towards me, and I'm having you turn towards me so it's not as easy to reach out and touch anything. Put your hands by your side, okay? Bring your feet together, okay? Now close your eyes. Pretty good. Okay, open them up. Now, can you stagger your stance and put one foot in front of the other? Okay. Pretty good. Now, stay there. Pretend like you had nothing to hold on to. Okay. So, did you notice something? When you start to lose your balance, what's your first reaction?
To grab hold of something.
To grab a hold, right? The problem is, and what creates a lot of falls, is that you don't always have something to hold on to. Okay?
Right.
So that actually should not be your first reaction. What do you think your first reaction should be?
Well, if I don't have something to hold on to, I would have to get a regular stance.
Right. If you try to grab onto something and then say there's nothing good to grab onto, you just wasted the time that you needed to take that step safely. So most likely you're not going to have that. So we call that a stepping strategy. It's important to have that. It's important to be very natural at taking that step. Okay, even if you do reach, it's okay to do both. In fact, I want you to do both, but you got to take the step. People have trouble taking steps because they stay too tense. Okay, so let's do that again. This time, I just want you to stay loose and stay relaxed. If you start to lose your balance, try and stay relaxed, and then we'll see if that makes it easier to take your little step. Okay?
All right.
So without holding on, remember this is not here unless you actually are starting to fall. Okay. Put one foot in front of the other. Stay relaxed. Okay, good. Stay loose, even if you start to lose your balance. Loose, but not,
Not real loose.
Okay. There's a different word for that. I think that would be just maybe be a little sloppy. But just stay relaxed, I should say. Okay? All right. Try it again. Stay relaxed. Stay quiet, And if you lose your balance, now maybe start looking around the room a little bit. Take a step. Good. Perfect. Made that look easy, right? So
it's not easy.
It's not easy, but you made it look easy. A lot of people, the first reaction they have is to stiffen up, okay? Once you're stiff, once you do that, and a lot of times that's because it's a fear thing. Everyone's afraid of losing their balance, and once you have the fear, then you're not able to be reactive. Think of it like a person that's gonna run a race, and right before the little gun goes off, they tighten every muscle in their body. Would they be very fast? No. They wouldn't go anywhere, right? You have to stay loose to be reactive. One of the best and easiest things that I could have you do is called the 4-step balance test. Okay. So I'm going to take you through that real quick. And if you do lose your balance, I want you to stay relaxed. All right, bring your feet together. You're doing pretty good with this. This is easy. So after 15 seconds, I want you to bring your feet halfway forward. So bring there we go.
Well, see, I didn't want to move that.
That's okay. So that's where you started having a little trouble, right? And you notice it's a little harder. It would be great to just stay right here and practice that move. And a lot of times people, once they get still, they can do pretty good. But moving from one position to the other is where everyone
That's
struggles.
the tough one.
So don't do what seems natural and hold on while you switch positions. Everyone does that. You don't want to do that. You want to practice the hardest parts. So that transition, because once you're there, it's a piece of cake. All right. So maybe just go back to this position. Okay. Now go back into that position. Okay. And then go back to the other position. Add a little dancing.
It's like dancing.
Yeah, so now go back to the other position. So that would be a great transition. Now let's try and go from this position, this modified tandem where one foot's kind of halfway forward, and let's go into full tandem. One foot all the way in front of the other.
Oh. Do what?
Go from this position to that position. There we go. Now take your time and be in control here.
I find that if I do it fast, I can do it better.
It's easy because you're never really in control, right? Now go to full tandem, one foot right in front of the other. All the way in front.
Just,
Yep.
I'm not doing very good here.
That's okay.
No.
Okay, now try and bring your right foot all the way in front of your other foot. Good. Now hold it there.
Walk sideways.
That's okay. What we're working on here is we're trying to stay in that sweet spot where it's difficult for you, okay, but it's not impossible. It's challenging, but in this whole time you haven't had to touch, have you? You've been able to get your balance. You've been able to work on that step. And that's, honestly, that's the key. You want to work on your natural reaction to take a step when you need it and not rely on your hands. So awesome job. I would want you to practice this maybe 5 times. Hold it for 15 or 20 seconds. Work your way up to maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes, if you're feeling really froggy, you can go to 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes a day would be all you would need to stay on top of this.
Could it be in several times?
Sure, absolutely. And you want to set yourself up at home to where you're somewhere safe, like we're here today, because most people don't have parallel bars in their homes, right? So if you have a kitchen countertop and an island, like I know you do, that's where you want to set yourself up so you have something on either side of you, so that if you do try and take that step and something happens, your toe gets caught up, that you always can reach out to. So now you have 2 lines of defense. You have your hands and reaching and holding, and you have your step, okay? Mastering that is going to keep you off the ground, and it's going to keep you going and thriving.
And that's my goal.
Good.
You know, when I go to the doctor, they always say, how many times have you fallen?
Yeah.
And I get to say 0.
Perfect. Nice job. The thing about balance is that everybody's got themselves into a unique situation. Some people are born with better balance, and depending on how old you are or what you've done, you're going to be in a different position. Mimi is 92 years old. She is amazing. She practices this balance, but also she just stays active. So the reason why Mimi's so good, I would love to take credit for that and say that it's because your grandson's a physical therapist, but the truth is that Mimi is active. In her assisted living facility, she walks all over the place. I bet you get your 10,000 steps in almost every day.
Close.
And she helps her friends do a lot of different things. Plus, she understands the importance of working on her balance so that she can avoid the fall, because she doesn't want to end up in the same shoes as some of her friends that have fallen, had the key injury, and never fully recovered from it. So the key to preventing falling is to have a good stepping strategy. So instead of just relying on reaching with your hands, you can take a step in the right direction when you need it. If you want to reach 2 at the same time, that's great. Well, the key to the key is being able to stay relaxed while you're doing that. If you've ever seen someone fall, you most likely witnessed them tensing up every muscle in their body and having that moment of pause and then they lost their opportunity to take a step because you only have a few milliseconds. So it's got to be natural. You have to practice that. Make sure you set yourself up in a safe place and challenge yourself. There's plenty of videos that we've done on balance, and we've kind of taken a deeper dive into different exercises you can do. So if you're interested in that, why don't you check out this video? Until next time.